Now it is time for me to have a conversation with a man with an amazing kitenge, Mr. Alan himself. I'm just loving the way you two are just wearing similar things. You know,
Sure.
it's really, really remarkable.
Thank you.
With the kitenge couple, eh?
Yes.
How have you been?
Doing well? Yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Earlier on, you mentioned that the area you feel that needs decoded in your mind is the interpretation,
Right.
you know, whereby you will say something and then it's misinterpreted in another way. Would you want to share more about that?
Sure. Why not? Communication is key in any marriage, and when you give information and it's perceived differently, that tends to bring some conflict. Maybe if I can be able to elaborate further.
Yes.
You may find maybe my wife has put a question to me, and then I give a feedback. But the feedback, the way she interprets it quite differently, and then she would rush to make a judgment or a conclusion about it.
Yes.
And then when that happens, it brings some sort of cold war, some misunderstanding.
Yeah.
I gave her some information, and she interpreted it differently, and she made a conclusion in her mind. And then when she does that, she keeps off. So it keeps me gazing and wondering, what is it exactly that is disturbing and bothering my wife? And later on, she will come and reveal that you didn't, the way you say, what exactly, why did you say it that way?
Yes.
So I think that is mostly what will bring that kind of...
Can you give an example of like a question that she will ask you and then like the kind of answer you would give?
I'm trying to figure out. Maybe she would tell me, for example, that she wants to visit somebody.
Yes.
And I would quickly say it's okay. But for her, she may interpret and say, maybe I don't have that connection with her, because why would I want her to live alone without me?
Yes.
According to her, she's trying to tell me, let's go
together.
Let's go
But she's
together.
not saying let's go
Definitely.
together.
She's not saying
I
it.
want to go
exactly.
visit.
So she would want me to have that conclusion in mind. I'm just a man, so I may not be able to read her mind, But so that may make her feel maybe my man doesn't love me so much.
Yes.
Why? Number one, she's accepting so far. She doesn't want to have time with me. Number two, why didn't she accept and say, yes, let's go together?
Yes.
So
why,
you see
why
that
you do not accept? You know,
Yes.
it's like, oh, you want to go? Then enter.
Yeah, that is
like,
it.
Why don't you want to go with me?
Correct. And she may not put it directly that way. So that will bring that kind of breakdown and miscommunication. The way she interpreted the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how does this Cold War play out? Is it banging of doors? Is it some sneer? Is it a certain attitude, or you know what you're telling me or whatnot?
Yeah. Sure.
Yes.
My wife is this kind of a cool lady. She will have something burning inside of her, but she will not burst it out.
Yes.
The best she can do is just to keep quiet. And sometimes when she keeps off, I also keep off for some time, because I'm trying to give her time to tell me.
Wait a minute. You mean she gives you silent treatment? Then you also give silent treatment?
I give silent treatment.
Okay.
And for me, I'm not doing it because I also want to retaliate, but because I want her to take that step and tell me what is it that is actually bothering her. So if she doesn't, I would wait for some time before I can now take the initiative of approaching to be able to find out exactly why. Yes.
So do you end up asking her what is going on?
Yes. Eventually, I call her and then she will trace me back.
Does she cry?
Yes, my wife is very emotional, like any other lady. When she's pressed down with something, she will break down into tears. And of course, any man would feel that. When she cries, even if I decided to bring that cold, I would definitely reach out to her very fast and try to sort the whole thing.
What kind of things do you do when you see her cry?
Well, it weighs me down.
Yeah.
Weighs me down.
Yeah.
The first thing I do is to go embrace her and try to listen to her.
Yeah.
Even if I was trying to, try to retaliate by also keeping silence, her tears will make me melt and want to listen to her more keenly. I would want to dig into her. What is it that is actually bothering you?
Okay.
Yes.
Has she ever said something out of frustration, out of that emotional place?
Yes.
And she says something that's very hurtful. She has.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has a, like for example, the time she told me I'm a mommy's boy, because apparently there was something that we were trying to engage with my mother, and that didn't make her feel right. So it came out of her. And you see, any woman would want that first-hand love from the man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And how did that make you feel?
Well, as a man, I understand. Normally, there's that conflict between the mother and mother-in-law.
Yes.
Although mine is not very intense, but of course I felt it. I was able to look it from her perspective, and were able to address the whole thing.
Okay.
Yes.
How has this whole misinterpretation and emotional situation affected, for example, your finances? How has it affected?
Yes, it has, because sometimes maybe my wife would want to buy something, and because it's not properly put into context, sometimes it ends up affecting how we purchase things, how we manage our finances. For example, she may want to be taken out like any other woman, and if I keep off, that means we're not gonna spend money in that direction. So you find that she may not say it, but she expects me as a man to own up and maybe take her out, or maybe do that kind of a thing. So it ends up affecting even the way you do your budgeting.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so, so much, Alan. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Both of you are so articulate. I love the way you're just expressing your thoughts.
Thank you.
I have been speaking with Alan, and he has actually shared his views. Right now, I'm going to have a conversation with the both of them, and then we can see how this issue can be decoded.